Good morning, good morning. I'm plugging up my device there, so you'll see a little shake. Shake, shake, shake. Thank you for coming today. Hatha for everybody with Jennifer Eubank, Thursdays at 9, bright and early. We're focusing on the chakras. And as I was just saying a moment ago before I started the recording, that it's a perfect day backdrop for our third eye exploration because it's very beautiful here in Arlington, at least, and on the coast. It's nice and bright and sunny, and the element for our third eye is light. Our third eye is located right between the brow there. It's associated with intuition, foresight, and we will do some nice balancing poses at the end to try to find a nice one-pointed concentration to help stoke our energies in our third eye. But I will also go over those that precede up to it. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I grabbed the wrong lesson plan. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Okay, picked up number 5 instead of number 6. We're starting in a reclining position. So go ahead and lie back on your backs. Take your time. Have a prop or two nearby if you need a blanket or some blocks. That's foresight. That's intuition, having everything nearby. That's root chakra and sixth chakra stuff. So lie back, maybe have the knees bent, maybe have the legs extended. Your choice. Take your time, take a few moments to settle in. Take some cleansing breaths. You close your eyes, soften your gaze. And we'll take these first few moments to settle into our environment, establishing a sense of belonging, a sense of security, got everything we need. Assess and address. Make little adjustments as you connect with the earth beneath you and as you connect with your root chakra. Scan through your body. Note the tissues of your body. Note any areas of discomfort, soreness, strain. These are generally associated with anxiety, worry, stress. See if you can set aside your stressors. And stay present with the moment. Our third eye is associated with our sense of imagination. Though we want to steer away from time travel and these quiet moments. In other words, We want to avoid any daydreaming here. Daydreaming is not always realistic. We want to tap into the here and the now to help bring energy to our third eye. Stay here for about 3 or 4 more breaths. You can keep your eyes closed, or you can open them at any time, whatever works for you. We'll stay in this reclining position and we'll do a little bit of pelvic breathing to tap into our root chakra even more so. So, if you want to change something about your reclining position, you could do that. I like to bend my knees, feet on the floor to support my low back when I'm doing some pelvic breathing. You do what you need. Take care of those root basic chakra needs. And then, as you're ready, start to focus on the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Take a few rounds of just noticing that breath. And then here you can tap into your sense of creativity and your imagination by feeling the breath rise up in that pelvic area and soften back down. So direct your awareness to the motion in your pelvis as you breathe in and out. And as you continue to direct your awareness there, direct the breath there. See if you might take deeper inhales, longer exhales. Feel the belly expand even more so in all directions, the front, the sides, the back. This is why I like bent knees for this. And keep going. Maybe put your hands on the the belly or the pelvis area, and see if you can make the belly even bigger. And if it gets to be too much, as always, slow down the intensity. You can control how much. Maybe you can feel the muscles starting to get in on it. And as you continue with this pelvic breathing, it's meant to help you learn to breathe more deeply. It also helps you tap into your second chakra, your sacral chakra. It's grounding, it's securing you. So it's very root chakra related, but it also helps to start to widen your sacrum. And we'll go about 10 more rounds of this gentle belly breath, essentially tapping into our first 2 chakras. Really, your third chakra too, because you can feel that solar plexus rise and fall right above that belly button. You're bringing a sense of fluidity, change within your body. We'll go a little bit longer. Does this breath make you feel more safe, more secure, more grounded, ready to handle challenge. One or two more, take your time. Coming back to regular breath whenever you're ready, and take a few moments to understand how that breathing affected you. This is third eye action here, understanding, breaking it down, looking at it from all angles as if you were witnessing that experience, bearing witness to that breath. So one or two more breaths. And then as you're ready, let's do those four-legged twists that we've done a few times in the past. So the knees are bent. So if you haven't bent your knees, go ahead and bend those knees. Feet on the floor. Feel free to keep the socks on. And then as you're ready, you can put either foot on the opposite knee. I'm going to start with the right and I'll cue with the right. So right foot up on that left knee or opposite, you decide. Arms out by the sides. Take a few moments, get that good basic construction taken care of. Root chakra needs. And then start some movement, some change, and start small, just with the leg structure, going back and forth. Maybe change where that foot on the floor is. Maybe the knee and the foot up in the air start to come down a little bit deeper. Add the head as you're ready. Same direction to begin with. Breathing. Breath giving you the energy and the clarity. Can help you with the timing. Maybe eventually head and knee in opposite direction. I always bring my arms up a little bit higher when I bring that twisting action up top into it. Let's go a few more rounds. So this helps us tap into our sacral chakra, our second chakra. Creativity, change, adaptability, getting out there. Nice sacral massage here. One or two more. Coming back to center as you're ready. Take a couple of breaths. We don't want to rush any changes. That helps you keep your root chakra in check. So bring that foot down when you're ready. Take a couple of breaths. Notice the difference in the two hip joints. Understanding the progress. Switch sides. Get things prepared. And then when you're ready, start the movement. Bit by bit, adding the head when you're ready. We'll explore on this side. Bringing that sense of fluidity within our movements, tapping into our water qualities, the element associated with our sacral chakra. Breath compounds that idea. Breath is watery, it's moist. Let's go a few more. It also flows like water. Come back to the center whenever you're ready. Take your time. And spend a moment or two back in the middle with the foot still up on the knee there before you bring it down. And do the same thing here. A couple of breaths here. Notice how you feel. So we've stirred up those first two chakras. Now let's tap into our third chakra, our solar plexus, our sense of will and determination. So we'll do some core strengthening, arm and leg extensions. So whenever you're ready, draw your belly in to engage those core muscles to help you pick up those legs. And let's spend about 6 or so breaths in an apanasana. Rocking, rolling, maybe moving your feet about. And you can go wide with the knees and feet, see what that's like. A little bit longer. Just taking care of our root chakra needs, figuring out what this feels like, this base pose. And then whenever you're ready, engage those core muscles and start to extend your limbs, arms and legs. And you can start with the arms out to the sides or arms overhead. We can play around with those two arm directions. Both will engage upper core muscles in your chest and your upper back. And you can understand that your core muscles aren't just in that belly, but they're all along your spine. They're in the front, they're in the sides, they're in the back of the body. See if you can recruit these muscles to help you keep up with the intensity of this challenge. Keep up and you'll be kept. Keep up and you'll be, what's the saying? Oh, shoot, now I forgot it. Keep up and you'll be kept. That doesn't sound right. It's not ringing right. But it basically allows you a chance to, okay, I can stick with it. I can adjust, maybe make it a little bit more quiet so you can persevere rather than bail. Tapping into your sense of will, your determination, your strength. So I'm going to do a few really slow because I'm starting to feel like, oh, I want to bail. So I'm going to keep up and I'll be kept up. That's what it is. Keep up and you'll be kept up. Yogi Bhajan. We'll talk about him in the next few weeks. A key yogi figure from the 20th century. Let's go a little bit longer. As always, you can take breaks. You can play around with what the arms are doing. Hands can face the ceiling. They can face the floor. And we'll do a few more, and then we can make our way back into a rest period. First in Apanasana. So avoid bringing your feet all the way down to the floor to rest. Take a few moments in your Apanasana. It still takes a little muscle work, but it's restful. And then you can gradually bring those feet back down. All those actions tapping into our root chakra, and that keeps our nervous system in check. Rushing denotes anxiety and stress. Keeping things slow and quiet keeps a little bit more even keeled, but you can still find a will and a determination in moments of quiet. It's all about balance. Let's do a twist before we rise up. You could go into your Apanasana and then form your twist, or you can keep the feet on the floor. It doesn't matter which side you start with. Settle into it and take 3 nice long breaths. Come back to the center. Take a breath or two in the middle. Notice the effects of that twist. That can help inform you for your next twist. Pay attention. Mindfulness helps stoke that third eye energy. So what's it like on this side? And stay long enough to really understand what it's like. What is the goal of this pose? Releasing that low back. Applying knowledge to your poses. Why are we doing this? What's it doing for me? Coming back to the center as you're ready. Taking a couple of breaths. Notice how you feel. Maybe take an over the head stretch with your arms. Let's do an empty coat sleeves for a few moments. Bring the feet wide and the knees together and give yourselves a nice little hug. Doesn't matter which arm is on top. Your hands are reaching around for your shoulder blades and your bent arms are up on your chest. And it might start to feel that they're going to cave into your face. This is the upper back opening. And as you stay here, once you've assembled and settled into the pose, take your gaze to your brow line, in between your eyes there, right above there, where your third eye is located. Ajna is the Sanskrit word, Ajna, means wisdom. Its color is indigo blue on the rainbow color spectrum. Concentration, intuition, foresight, wisdom, these are all properties associated with our third eye. Foresight. Let's go a couple more breaths. This pose is meant to open up your upper back and your shoulders. This is really good if you've been doing a lot of hard physical work, like moving boxes and doing yard work and things like that. One more breath. And then let's switch arms. Settle in. Take care of any basic root chakra needs. And then tap into your breathing so you can explore, tapping into your sacral chakra properties, being curious to this position and change that breath brings it. Your solar plexus helps you stick with it and not give up. There's a lift in your heart. All right. Even though the arms are on that heart area, there's an opening in that heart area. You could even tap into your voice chakra here and do some ujjayi breathing in this position as you keep your gaze on your third eye. I'll take a few more breaths here. Our third eye chakra gives us a chance to step out of our bodies and look at ourselves from all different angles, all different perspectives. Helps us learn to bear witness to our actions rather than get caught up in our actions. We can get bogged down by limiting beliefs. Our third eye lets us look beyond our basic beliefs, helps us understand that there's more to what's going on in life than our immediate beings. Big world we live in. Couple more breaths. And then let's bit by bit take the arms out of it. Keep those root chakra elements in mind. And then you bring the knees apart and you start to bring the arms closer to the body and maybe do a little bit of windshield wiper type action. And then as you're ready, roll to one side. Take a breath or two here on the side. And then let's come onto our belly. Roll onto your belly. And we'll tap into all of those first three chakras, very physical, to help us start to stoke a little energy in our heart chakra. So we'll do some dynamic cobras. So first things first, figure out how you want your base pose, legs together or apart, hands under the shoulders to begin with, but then see if you can bring them back so they're more in line with your ribs, so you're not using your arms to lift you up. And when you're ready, engage all of your muscles, your legs, your glutes, your core, and then start to lift up into a baby cobra. And when you're ready, come back down. And then keep going, coordinating this with the breath as we do in our dynamic movements. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower. Cobras are back bends. We are curving, we are extending our spine. This brings space to the front of the body, allowing for more heart space, more lung space. can be very energizing. You're using all of our muscles here to a certain degree, some working a little bit harder than others. So we don't want to bring a sense of rigidity to our cobras. There's strength, but there's fluidity. And we're paying attention to what's going on. We're looking at ourselves from the outside so that we can understand more what our body looks like. Are we listening to those basic cues? Are your hands close to your body? Are your arms close to your body? Are you using your body to lift, or are you using your arms? Are you daydreaming here? You want to be in the present moment. Let's stay up in our cobra. So whenever you're ready, you could always rest on that bottom half before you lift up into a static cobra. You might even turn it into a locust and bring your arms behind you. You could even pick up the legs, the feet up off the floor for a full-fledged locust. You could even bend your knees and try to pick up or take hold of your feet and turn this into a bow pose, something that we rarely do in this class. But now we've pumped up those muscles and woken them up. You can recruit leg and core muscles to maintain your bow. If that's too much, you could be in your locust or that original cobra. Another breath or two and come back down when you're ready, bit by bit. So you don't want to collapse out of your pose. You want to dismantle your pose bit by bit. And let's land in crocodile, bent elbow, stacked hands, feet wide. Shake out your hips a little bit, release that low back. Maybe pick up the feet, do some windshield wipers. And then settle into a still crocodile. And this is a wonderful pose to once again consider your third eye, because your hands are right on your, your forehead is right on the hands there, drawing sensations to that third eye area. And you can take your gaze between the brows. And let's take 5 more breaths here. Your internal gaze is keeping you present. Maintaining awareness to what's going on in you and around you. And then as you're ready, let's come up bit by bit to a table. And if you like a sockless yoga experience, this is a good time to take those socks off. And then as you're ready, let's explore down dogs for let's go about 20 or so breaths. So whenever you're ready, once you're up, please take your time, bit by bit, coming up, taking off those socks, whatever you want to do. And then when you're ready, lift up into a down dog and put some movement in your dog to begin with. Gentle movement, lifting and lowering of the heels. You could bend the elbows and bend the knees some. Wag your tail. I like to bend my knees and lift my heels and press into the feet and the hands to bring my head more to the floor and towards the feet. There's so many different techniques that you can use to deepen your poses. So this takes attentiveness. This takes third eye properties here. Not getting so wrapped up in what the dog feels like that you don't understand what it might look like. Lots of times I see people doing this. This ain't no dog. This is not a dog. And then they complain about this hurting. Well, yeah, pay attention to those basic goals of our dog, to lengthen our spine, to lengthen our arms and legs, to put a little bit of an extension in the spine, not a curve, not a stoop, but a lengthening. You can rest whenever you want, she says, as she decides it's rest time. Rest periods between challenge, very important. And taking care of all of those chakras, root basic needs, understanding how it affected you. That's tapping into your creative sacral side. Solar plexus, not rushing through things. You've got the will to slow down. All of these things, opening up your heart, bringing more breath. Giving you chances to build your awareness. You're constructing your experiences in such a careful manner, but one that's not rigid, open to new ideas. Let's lift up whenever you're ready. Take your time. So if you're down on the floor resting, or if you just got into a dog, take your time, and we'll meet in a standing position. And once you're up, first things first, as always, what's going on? How does the room feel now in this perspective? Do you need to make any changes? Wake up those feet. Maybe put up your hair like I'm doing. Okay, so we've awakened our root chakra, our sacral chakra, our solar plexus. We just woke up our heart. Now let's work a little on our voice chakra. We'll do some warriors. Really great way to pump up your sense of your voice and speaking up for yourself and others. Good strengthening poses. So I'm going to start on this end so that when I open out, I'll be facing you. So come to the top of your mat. Build a nice mountain pose. Shoulders over hips, over knees, over ankles. Root the feet. Let's start with a nice chair pose. When you're ready, draw the belly in. Inhale your arms up and press, bend, and hinge into your chair. And if you like, you can go into some cactus arms to open your upper chakra or your upper chest and back muscles. And when you're ready, inhale back up. Exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Take your time. You could be in a half fold or full. Feel that lengthening of your spine. Root chakra reaching for the ceiling as your crown chakra roots for the floor. Notice that change in orientation. Be aware of the effects that it has on you. And when you're ready, make your way back up. Reversing that swan dive. Let's go into one more chair. Maybe go a little deeper this time. Always have the option of cactus arms. And when you're ready, let's lift back up and exhale our arms back down. And let's take a 2-breath rest in our mountain pose. Understanding what just happened. And when you're ready, step your right foot back and we'll make our way into a warrior one. Bit by bit. Facing the front of our mat. Slight turn to that hip of the leg that's back, but not so much that you're facing the corner. You want to be facing the front. So pay attention to those basic alignment principles. Likewise, pay attention as you open out to your warrior two. So now your feet are lined up. Your front foot is lined up with your back foot. Your front knee and your front foot are facing the same direction and you're looking in that direction. And that can help you prepare for a nice sun warrior. Let's come back to our warrior two. Let's do a little bit of that bowing action that we've been doing. You could do Ujjayi breathing at any time. At any time during these warrior sequences. Stoking into that voice chakra. Compounding our voice chakra exploration here. Coming back to your warrior two as you're ready. Let's visit sun again. Let's visit our side angle. Side warrior pose, this is called. Another warrior-like pose. Front knee, front foot facing the same direction. Good strong legs. Hand or elbow can be on the knee or even all the way down on the floor. And then when you're ready, backstroke back up into that warrior two. Let's do a few more of these bows. Let's do another sun. Come back to warrior two. Maybe some Ujjayi breathing. Let's do a triangle. So the front leg extends and the back arm comes up towards the ceiling. Backstroke back up into your warrior two when you're ready. You don't have to do all of these suggestions. You know enough where you could do something more, a little more challenging or a little less challenging based on your needs. And when you're ready, take your time, come back to the center, and let's take 5 breaths. And notice what's going on in your body. What are the sensations in your body? And try not to get so wrapped up in them that they consume you. Just notice them, witness them, ease through them. Deep breathing can help you work out any areas of discomfort. Almost as if you're embracing your experience rather than running away from that experience. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to come the other end. We'll start in a nice mountain pose. You're already there, but you might need to put a little bit more tentativeness to that mountain. Let's do another chair. Whatever chair works for you, you could always go into cactus arms. You could even do a couple of cactus flies if you like, right? We've done these so many times, so you can use your creativity, your voice, How are you expressing yourself in your yoga today? This voice is not just, how you speak. You can express yourselves in other ways through movements, through poetry, through dance, any creative activity. Let's make our way back up into one more chair. I didn't tell you that I went to a forward fold. I'm sorry. Hopefully you saw it. Let's come back to a mountain. Take your time, bit by bit. Take 2 breaths. And you might just be getting there, so when you do, take 2 breaths. And when you've had those 2 breaths, you could always take a third. Let's make our way into our warrior exploration. Step that foot back, bend the knee, lift those arms, bit by bit, finding a nice warrior 1, maybe some cactus arms. For some reason, I feel compelled to put a little bit of a back bend in it. Then released my fingers and lifted my heart as I point those or reach those hands down. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. What feels right in your warrior 1? And we'll go a couple more breaths in our warrior 1. And then as you're ready, turn it into your warrior 2. Bit by bit, pay attention to your alignment principles. Make sure that you're safe and sound. Take care of those root chakra needs as you make this change. And then you can start to play around with your sense of fluidity, your sacral chakra. Maybe turn it into a sun now. And we can go back to a warrior 2. And keeping with that idea of fluidity and change, let's bring some bowing action to it. Our 3rd chakra is present. All right, that keeps us determined, keeps us strong, stokes our stamina. 1 or 2 more bows. If you're doing that bowing action, come back to your warrior 2. And if it's there for you, we can do another heart lifting sun. All of these poses are heart openers because we've got our arms wide. So once you return to your warrior 2, stay there for a couple of breaths, stabilize that pose, and then you're more likely to handle the next challenge, turning it into your side warrior. And what side warrior works for you today? Express your voice, but pay attention to your basic needs. And we can turn it back into a warrior 2. I love that transition. And then I thought we would do 1 more triangle. So we can extend that front leg, bring that front hand down to that front leg, back arm reaches up. Maybe look at that hand. I'm not there today. So I'm just going to keep my head where I want, straight ahead. Good strong legs, glutes and core all working in concert to take you back to your warrior 2. Ujjayi breath anytime, very powerful. Coming back to your mountain as you're ready. Take your time. And once you're back in your mountain, pay attention. How do you feel? Take your mind to the areas that are calling you the most. And notice, kind of stepping out, not getting bogged down to that situation, but just, okay, maybe I should breathe a little bit more deeply or move something. Couple more breaths. And then for our balance section, we really want to bring some balance into this to help stoke our third eye. I want to check our time. Balance poses are wonderful ways for you to tap into those third eye properties. Your ability to stay present, your ability to concentrate, and to know what's going on with you presently, but know what's going on around you too. So I thought we would do a nice complex dancer's pose. It's a very complex pose. We'll break it down bit by bit. You decide how far you want to go with it. Use your voice here. Use your sense of creativity and expression. So I'll show you briefly. Well, not briefly. We go into mountain and we pick up one foot. And then once you have that foot, you take the opposite arm out in front of you. And then if it's there for you, you can put a little bit of a back bend into it and come forward and bring that back leg back. And let me show you from the side. So it's a back bending balance pose. And if you do it all at once, you're more likely to fall bit by bit. And you put a nice little back bend into it. You engage both the standing leg as well as that lifting leg. So make that connection with the foot or the ankle first. Take care of that. That can be your dancer's pose, and you can work on that. But once you have found a stable position like that, then maybe you can go further and lift that arm up. And that could be your dancer's pose. But if you've got things taken care of, then you might find, you know what, I can draw my belly in and bring that back foot up, that back leg up, bring it closer to my bum, putting a little curve to my spine, lifting that arm, looking straight ahead. That third eye is really going to come in handy, not just in helping you bend and or build, but sustain it. So I'm not sure where everybody is in their stages, so I might be talking about something that's not really applying where you are. This is where you bring that third eye into it. And you can come to those cues when you get there. I'm going to do it twice on each side. Start with that basic mountain. If you've got a casual mountain, you're likely to suffer. And if you stumble, I suggest you start all over. It depends on where you stumble and how you stumble. You want a sense of balance and evenness. So you're facing forward as you do in your Warrior One. Looking straight ahead, looking at something that's not moving, keeping that one pointed concentration. Observe your pose from the inside and the out as best as you can, understanding the various perspectives of your experience, coming back to mountain and maintaining that attitude once you're back. You're still in your dancer's pose, even when you come out of it. Yeah, so if you just come out of it and then you just forget all about it, that's brushing your third eye capabilities aside. What's it like? What's it feel like? What's going on in your body? Where do you feel it the most? How do you feel it? Are these positive sensations that are going on? Or are they negative sensations? And how are you responding to them? Shake it out a little bit, maybe do a little bit of uh, different movement, some counter movement. Maybe you want to stretch your arms in the back. Yeah, a little bit of whirly girly movement. And then let's go ahead and let's make our way back down. Let's meet in Dandasana. We're running out of time. I had a few other things planned. I'm going to condense. Let's just go ahead and meet in a Dandasana pose. Maybe on a blanket. Take care of those basic needs. Maybe blocks under the knees if your hamstrings are tight. Dandasana staff pose, named for our spine, our chakra center. Legs in front, hinging at the hips, not at the waist, so you don't want to be slumping. So good strong legs, good basic lines, supported by strong legs, strong glutes, strong torso. Root your sits bones, tilt your pelvis slightly forward. Maybe feel your tailbone, your root chakra settling down. Feel your sacrum widening. Draw your solar plexus in to help you lift your heart and to help you control the arch of your lower back, the arch of that lower spine. Heart is lifted, but shoulders are softening down to help you lengthen your neck. You can feel that breath in your throat. Maybe do some Ujjayi breaths. Looking straight ahead or slightly above between the brow, taking your focus to your third eye chakra. As your crown chakra lifts towards the sky and you root into the earth. And let's bring a chakra into this. It's called Trishula Mudra, and this is meant to evoke energies in your third eye chakra, Trishula Mudra. So what we do is we bend our pinky finger down towards the base of the thumb and put your thumb on top of the pinky knuckle. And then your other three fingers are extended. And then once you do that, so pinky finger down, thumb on top of that pinky knuckle, other three fingers extended, and then bring your arms out to the sides and open the hands out towards the ceiling. And notice what this does, holding this mudra. Notice how it compels you to open your chest, widen your collarbones. Rotate your shoulders slightly out, feeling that width in your back. And this brings energy up into your eyes. By holding this mudra like this, we're tapping into nerves that directly attach to our eyes. You're rooting, you're grounding, you're drawing your belly and lifting your heart. Let's take 3 more breaths as we look straight ahead. We're slightly up in our brow chakra. Maybe some Ujjayi breaths here. And then release your Trishula Mudra. Bring your hands back. Shake out those legs there. Let's tap them out. And then let's do this. Let's go ahead and lie back on our backs. And feel free to go ahead and put your socks back on because we are steadily running out of time. So we'll do some challenging things on our back where we don't need any foot traction. So feel free to put them back on and go ahead and lie on your backs with your knees bent, feet on the floor, two-legged table. And take a few moments to settle in once you get there. You know, put a sense of attentiveness to what's going on with your two-legged table. It's simple, but don't take it for granted. How does it feel? And then when you're ready, draw your belly in, hug your knees into your chest for Apanasana. And maybe a little bit of movement, you decide. And then as you're ready, we would do tiger pose, which is a kind of a balance pose, but on our backs. It's a lot like happy baby. We start in Apanasana. We've done this before. We extend our arms and our legs towards the ceiling, and we put a little bit of a bend to the elbows and the knees so we can engage the leg muscles and the arm muscles, and that can help us hold them up. You want to make sure the belly is drawn in so you're not straining your back. Squeeze your glute muscles to recruit those strong muscles to help you hold those legs up. So pay attention to the basic mechanics of your body and how you can wisely tap into this great feat of engineering. Pay attention to the things that you can do to make for a more rewarding and satisfying experience. Remember, sacral chakra, we want to enjoy ourselves. So we're going to stay here for some time. And if you want, you can put some tiny Tai Chi type movements in the arms and the legs. You can bring them wider or closer together. You could do little tiny circular movements. Belly drawn in, heart lifted. Maybe do some Ujjayi breathing at some point. Keep your gaze on your third eye between the brows. What does it feel like to be in this position? What do you think you look like in this position? Can you step out of your body and view your body from the outside so you can get a better understanding of what's really going on? And you might not get so wrapped up and afraid of your experience. Apply wisdom, apply knowledge, know-how to your practice. And the more you do these things on the mat, the more you'll find yourself doing these things off the mat. Applying these basic skills that help carry you through the challenge of a yoga practice. These skills can carry you a long way in navigating this very, very challenging world. lot coming at us, and we can get consumed by what's going on around us. How can we just step back and watch without getting caught up in politics or finances or neighborly disputes or disputes at work, in your family? Maybe go a little bit longer. I should have said from the get-go, if you get tired, you can go into Apanasana. But you know that because you've paid attention to other practices. So just because I didn't say it here doesn't mean that it doesn't apply here, right? We can come back to an Apanasana whenever you're ready and try to stay in your Apanasana for a few breaths and then come down to your two-legged table. And then maybe do a little bit of movement. And then hopefully you've got everything right by you, so you don't have to rise up. Remember, rising up so late in the practice jostles our nervous system and brings tension and anxiety into our nervous system, even though we might not be aware of it. But now that you know that, maybe you're more likely to pay attention to it and just stay down. Release into the weight and the shape of your body, release into whatever props you might have with you, and take a few moments to scan through your body and try to do that several ways. Scan through your body internally, but then kind of step out of your body and scan your body from the outside. Maybe like you're a drone and you're buzzing around your body, even the back of your body, which is going to take some imagination because you're on the floor. What was your experience like? What do you feel like now? How's your breath flowing? Can you quiet that breath? And can you notice the effects on the body and the mind? We'll take a few more quiet breaths. And when you're ready, start to slowly but surely build on your breath. Start with building on your energy with that breath. And then follow up with tiny movements. Bit by bit, take your time. I started before you did, so I'm already up. That doesn't mean you need to be up. I want you to take your time. Slowly, bit by bit, dismantling your Shavasana, coming to two-legged table, coming to one side, taking breaths in each stage of your transition. These are all things that help you stoke all of those chakras. You're taking care of your basic needs. You're exploring what it feels like. You're sticking with it. You're not pushing ahead before you should, nor are you lagging behind. All of these things helping you to open your heart to new experiences, opening your mindset as well. And we'll meet in whatever seated position feels right with whatever props. Take care of those basic chakra, root chakra needs. And once you've taken care of that, we'll add that Trishula mudra again, bending the pinky down and putting the thumb on top of that pinky knuckle. And the other three fingers are extended. And let's open the hands out so that the palms are facing the ceiling, resting them on the legs, the knees. Maybe close your eyes and find a good stable position here. And note that holding this mudra takes a lot of concentration. It also builds energy to support that the needs to concentrate. There's an external rotation to your shoulders, your hearts are lifted. You could even do a few ujjayi breaths here, looking through your third eye, lifting that crown chakra. 3 more breaths. And then release that mudra for your Anjali mudra. May you be safe, may you be happy, and may you be free from suffering. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice today. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. As always, if you need to bump out, bump out.